process at worst case as well. The thing is, another thing people got to consider with a water restriction is you may not be using all your plumbing in these sorts of times. So you may not be, you may be going down the road to a provision point for water, for instance, where you might be using, the water might be switched on for a couple of hours a day and all this sort of stuff. So the other water in your system that you would have used, say you're only using the downstairs toilet instead of the upstairs toilet, or vice versa, you're only using one of the showers you've got in your house, all your plumbing isn't being used. So the excess water that's lying in those other pipes during the winter months can freeze and damage. So people have got to be aware of that as well. And then when all the water comes back on, you suddenly find where you're springing a leak from everywhere.
Yeah, that wouldn't suck.
Oh, by the way, I'm co-streaming it now. By the way.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, I'm co-streaming it now.
Ah, right,
Yeah.
okay.
That's okay. Feel free to do so.
So we're done bringing in more audience here. Yeah, well, I don't use, but this is an important topic because it affects all of us. We all need it. It doesn't matter if you're a gardener, you're into preparedness, or some sort of environmentalist. We all we all care for it because we all need it.
You can even start employing, unique methods. If you haven't got a tarp or anything like this, get an umbrella, invert the umbrella, and you've got an immediate catchment. If you're in a high-rise building or a flat or anything like this, get onto the roof. Every available container that's not being used, put it on the roof. Catching your water and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vanessa says her cellars.
If you got dirty,
Go on.
I was gonna say, if you got dirty clothes, if it's pouring outside, that's a nice fast rinse.
Yeah, true. Yep, get out there, and if it's warm enough, you can shower in it as well.
Because let's remember, people do construction or whatever. They gotta wash their clothes. People in the hospitality restaurant industry, they gotta have clean clothes for work, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah, if you
keep that in mind, right?
A lot of people on boats and stuff like this, what they also do is they either, all they do is they come back to the boat after finishing work, and they make a tea or coffee or whatever, they drink the water and stuff like that. But what they also do is they either get a gym membership or go to a leisure centre or a leisure facility where there's a swimming pool, places like this, and they use their facilities to have a shower with, to use their water, because it's a finite resource on a boat. You've only got what's in your water tank, so it enables them to stay there longer. So there's many places which you can do that sort of stuff. There's service stations on motorways, if you live near one of those, which some have showers and facilities for truck drivers. You've got toilets, public toilets you can use. Leisure facilities like gyms, sports clubs, swimming pools. They've all got showers. They've all got access to water. If that's still on, depends how localized.
But the thing is, see, even here with the water restrictions happening in that area, the first thing they did was no pools, no recreational use. So no ice skating rinks, no swimming pools, no hot tubs, none of that.
Yeah. So
so that's out of the question right away.
For your situation now, how widespread an area is it?
It's affecting a whole city, a whole town, 1 million people. So
in order to go out of that sort of zone, you're talking a 10 to 15 mile trip.
You would have to leave the whole area. Go to another town or city or whatever, right? At least.
Yeah. So not
everyone can do that.
If you could do that once a week, it wouldn't be so bad. If you put all your jerry cans into the back of your truck or your car or whatever it is, travel out the city to the point in which there is water, fill them all up and come back in. that could be a feasible option for someone. I'll suggest it wouldn't be a
But you
feasible
probably
option
wouldn't
unless you...
want to do a large amount.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
You know, if you had a van or a truck, right, something you can fit a lot in,
yeah,
is it worth
yeah.
it? Because it's going to be expensive in terms of fuel, right? Because you're weighing down the vehicle quite a bit.
Yeah, case of priorities, I suppose. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
when
what's
I was
more
on my
important, the
boats,
fuel or the water?
yeah, when I was on my boat, a couple of times we've been running low of water because the water point we were planning to go to was out of action. So we'd have to go to the next water point. So you're talking another 2 days on. So in some cases, or if we want to stay in a certain place for longer, then I'd get me bike out, me bike trailer, put jerry cans in there, and then do a couple of shuttle runs backwards and forwards, which isn't, it's not that bad if you're talking
Yeah, maybe
3
do it
mile.
early in the morning before it gets too hot, right? Something like that. Avoid
Yeah,
sweating
exactly.
more
Yeah,
than you need to, right?
yeah. And
Work
if you've
smart,
got,
right? Don't do that during the mid-afternoon.
well, yeah. And if you've got, say, a pedal-assisted bike or an electric bike, then it's even better.
Yeah. Because right now,
Depends
like I
on,
said,
yeah,
water restrictions, but the grid's still up, right? So you still have access to electricity. So, you know,
y-
try
yeah,
to use it to help you out.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you can, distill some water.
I mean, a water restriction I'd suggest would be pretty localised. The grid would probably be on. Uh, if the grid goes down, then water, that's
Oh,
gone,
yeah,
completely new ball game there.
oh yeah, that's just
I mean,
amplify everything.
any sort of water restriction that happens is as a result of some incident somewhere, whether it be a burst water main to a burst dam and so on and so on, or low water
Welcome,
levels.
Kincaid Outdoors. Good to see you.
Kincaid, how you doing? So there is the emergency planners will start to kick in various contingencies and actions and events and put the ball in motion. People would have to then look at the allocation of water they will be given or offered, and then modify their behaviour and
Mm.
come up with different extra contingencies to cater for what their needs are. Probably, I'd suggest that the allocation that people will be given would be well under what they expect to be given in most cases. Or if there's a central point where you can go and get water off the back of a truck or a Bowser or bottled water somewhere, then they've got to
Yeah, it's
consider
gonna
carrying it.
be.
And
Well, there's probably gonna be limits, obviously,
yeah,
right?
definitely.
Welcome,
Or how much
Dave.
you can have.
Yeah, and it'll probably be the case of it's an everyday event or twice a day, maybe in some cases. Daily
First come,
water
first
run.
serve.
Yep. Then they've got to modify their behaviour then, their day and their calendar to cater with their daily water run.
Yeah,
Water
if
run in
it
the
shows up
morning,
at
water run in
noon,
the
right?
evening.
You know, you're working. Who's gonna pick it up? Your wife, your kids.
Yeah.
And you need it,
Yep.
right? Everyone knows you're gonna need it, right? So someone's gotta be there.
Yep. And then, is there going to be trouble? You're fighting over a key resource. Are you going to turn up and there's only half a pallet left and there's like 30 people wanting the water off that pallet because everyone's
Yeah,
turned up at lastminute.com and so
yeah.
on. So they've got to
People
gauge
trying
and
to bribe you. Well, hey, I'll give you 20 for it or whatever, right?
yeah. Then they've got to gauge and
Some
reckon
people might
scope
consider
out
that.
the busy times as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right, another
So
5 minute
it comes
shadow.
back to. I'm just gonna say PV, then it comes back to what you have, right? So you could be like, yeah, I'll barter with you here. I'll
Yeah.
barter with you. You know?
I mean, right. So the scenario is: do you use your own water first, or the water that turns up on the back of the truck? Now,
It
I'd
depends
say
what you're
use.
using it for.
Yeah, well, You probably use your own reserves or preps as your your last minute emergency supply and go on with everyone else.
Yeah.
And everyone else is
Well,
thinking,
because
well, so
because you want to stay gray man and kind of be like, hey, I'm in
yeah,
line with you guys too, kind of
yeah,
deal.
we're
So
all
your
getting
neighbors are
water
like,
from the truck.
I
And Joe,
never see you. I never see you.
yeah, we're all getting water from the truck, and Joe next door isn't getting any water. Why is that, Joe? What are you drinking? Oh, that's all right. I've got an underground reservoir.
People would know. Yeah, yeah, people would know.
Welcome, Brock
Yeah.
Looter.
Oh, you got an underground reservoir. What else have you got? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly,
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
But yeah, well, yeah. So how people cook has got to be modified. Like I said, the type of food you're eating, you wouldn't then, So anyone out there
rice, beans, spaghetti, pasta, all need water.
anyone else out there who's prepped and all they've stored is
Soups.
dehydrated or freeze dried stuff, or you need water to cook it, then it's a bit of a more demanding situation then. So.
Yeah, yeah. Especially things that
Uh,
you have to soak for a little bit, like
Yeah.
beans. Although
Yeah.
the soaking of beans, at least you can reuse the water. But if you cook rice, that all comes out as steam. So unless you're recovering that steam, you're gonna lose that water
Yeah,
in
I
the
mean,
cooking.
I tend to prefer canned food as the more robust option. You
Okay.
just heat the can up and away you go.
Yeah, that is what I prefer myself.
And
Yeah,
then
that
you
could
can
be an option.
when you finished eating that, you got the can as an extra resource to use for other things, to make things, and you got the raw metal there, and so on and so on. Uh, if you're using just dehydrated food, then yeah, a lot more water, definitely.
Well, then it comes back to diversifying the food, right? So you have different options, right? You have the
Yep.
lightweight food if you gotta leave. You have water, You have food that doesn't require extra water to cook or prepare with. Just case for this. If the grid's down, you got this. All these options, right? So whatever option works better, right? Because the
Yeah,
more
I mean,
options you
I
have, at least
would
then you have the choice.
the dehydrated stuff and the freeze dried stuff is okay for a bug out situation if you're going to start thinking about lightweight stuff like that, or
Get home
it's
bags.
or novelty food stuff to break from the norm. The boil in the bag pouches are a bit heavier. They're okay for mobile use and all that sort of stuff on the back of a wagon or a get home. No water required. Well, there is water required because you've got a boil in the bag, or you could put them in there. Just heat the actual pouch up as well, whether it be on an engine block or chemical heater. Oh yeah, I've done that many times.
No. I know you get. I know you get.
Yeah. If anyone hasn't heard that, boil in the bag. You pull up somewhere, put the boil in the bag in the engine bay. It heats it up quite quick and stuff. Just make sure it doesn't melt it. And then so I think canned food is definitely the more robust, definitely.
And broke loaded juices, plus drink the canned food juices. Yep.
Oh, that
Yeah, I mean
reminds
it's
me
all
of something
designed. Yeah, good.
About the paper plates or like I'm not a big fan of using though. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but if it came down
Yeah.
to it, because even the news that some of these articles I've been hearing about, they have been saying that, right? So people are tempting into that. I mean,
Oh, definitely.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
There's because it's amazing how much actual water you need for washing up as well. Yeah. There's funnily enough,
That sounds good, Vanessa.
I've got some old nuclear survival manuals. One of them they dished out to everyone in Britain was what's it called?
Hey, second star.
Can't remember the name of it, but anyway,
what
Good
up,
to see
in
you.
Star?
there. Second star, how you doing? In there, one of the recommendations was to save water is use a sandbox. So basically, it's a little box, 1 foot square type box, shallow box, 2 inches or 3 inches of sand in there, and you use that to wash up with. And you get your plate or whatever you're using, your knife, fork, spoon, and stuff like that, and it just absorbs the moisture, and it does an effective sort of first stage clean, and it does save quite a lot of water in that way as well. So things like that,
Well,
not to...
yeah. It's just like if you use what I said earlier. If the rainwater is relatively clean, relatively speaking, right, you can use them to at least rinse the dish, with then use your clean fresh water to kind of sanitize it at the end, kind of
Yeah.
That's a good way of approaching it too. So
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
if you had
Right, so
rice and beans, for example, you use that water they use to soak soak the beans in, right? Use that to wash the dishes later.
yeah, or even like you say, use paper plates, or not even bother with plates. You can either eat out of the can or eat out of the food pouch.
Or out of the pot.
Or out of the pot, yeah, big communal pot. Everyone digs in. Get
Yeah.
your racing spoon out, we used to call it.
Yeah. If you're in a family together, not a big deal.
We used to have a thing called on exercise. You take turns in cooking and stuff, the 4 of you. So you get your racing spoon out, and you got this big pot full of chili or whatever mashed up you've thrown in there and cooked up. And everyone gets their spoon out, and there's always one guy with this super huge spoon. You're all racing to get your sort of portion.
We're talking about water.
Yeah. Well, you need water to cook it, but
Yeah.
right.
I figured you
I've
would
got to,
notice. I just happen to have the water CR icon on. Hello.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, remember. Yeah. Anyways, preparing this veteran is always a pleasure to hear from you.
Yeah, I've got to shoot off. Shadow CR.
Yeah, no problem.
It's definitely.
Don't worry, I'll take over like usual.
Definitely something to think about for anyone listening out there. Look at your own situation, adapt to it. Come up with some sort of, extender, water catchment, and so on. If any prepper out there hasn't got a water storage plan or cans now fill up and ready to go, then they've got to look at their situation drastically. Apart from that,
Look what's happening.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just a matter of time. It might just come to your area, and you'll be grateful you have it.
It's amazing. I don't think people really appreciate how delicate the water supply system is. Because not only is it reliant on electricity, but you've got the fuel pipelines, the processing plants, all this sort of stuff.
Infrastructure.
Yeah, all fitting
Pipes.
together and ensuring it works. I mean, there's one thing in here in UK that we say is they keep going on about water wastage and stuff like this, but the biggest wasters of water is the actual water companies, because they've got so many leaks. They lose more water through leaks than people are, using water unnecessarily. So if the system is that fragile, it's not. It's like the road system. It only takes one little tiny event, and the impact is huge. So yeah, people have got to really consider what they're doing and appreciate the vulnerability of the system.
Hey Thor, good to see you.
Anyway, that's me. I'm
What's
off,
up,
and
Thor?
I'll
All
catch
right,
you in a bit.
take care, PV.
Hello, Thor. Goodbye, Thor. See you, Shadow. Catch you in a bit.
Yeah, see you later.
Later.
Oh, so,
Don't worry, everyone. I'm still here too.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
I know. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Oh man, I can't spell or correctly today. Second star wanted to join, so And second star is on your. He came from your side. That's why. Let's see if second star pops up. But well, let's see if he works. You know, well, where I live. Uh, okay, second star. I just do like this. I upload a put out that link again later. Um, I don't want that link to be up for too long. Where did this year go? Hey, Canadian Family Life, good to see you. Don't know if anyone mentioned it, but with the well, gotta watch for contamination threats. Yeah, that too. Um, See our co-streaming from my channel, so that's why there are people who popping up, and that's why. um, Has anyone considered using a solar water heater to disinfect water? Uh, no, not really, but that sounds like a good idea to me. Ah, there he was here.
Sorry, I lost connection there. I hope it's still
Okay,
streaming on. It's
okay,
still stream.
that's happens.
It's so if I leave, it stops the stream on my side because now I have to do it, set it back up again. Ah, it's so
Ah,
annoying.
okay.
Ah,
Uh,
keep talking. I gotta set this back up again. Remember the cell.
um,
Don't when you co-stream. If you DC or refresh, you have to start it again. Because if you did it, then it would probably still be going. And since I'm not there, yeah.
CR, do you ever consider using a solar water heater to disinfect water?
Hold on a second. Is my stream still going?
A solar water heater to disinfect water would be a pretty good idea, actually.
No, I still. Is it still streaming on my side? It's because I don't have a Swede device to open it.
Yeah, that one comes from Kincaid Outdoors.
Well, I'm assuming he's still there. He came in on my side too.
Thor says we are trying to budget for a windmill for our well so we can still pump if we lose power. That sounds like an awesome idea, Thor.
Yeah, sorry. I need to charge my headset. That's why.
Don't let the bugs and critters in your water storage. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Please call me Colin, folks. Okay,
Yes, that's Colin, by the way.
good to know. I don't know people's name. But if he says call me Colin, well, I agree with that.
Well, I'm
I'm on board
assuming that
now.
my
Okay.
stream's still going then on my side then. 'Cause this is the first time I've actually code streamed, so I don't know the slight
Yeah, I
details
know.
sometimes. Because if Colin's, yeah, because Colin's still on my side. You're watching it on my side, aren't you, Colin? I'm assuming he is. So I'm assuming I'm still going. Anyways, I just finished 3 minutes of stream.
Tuck by V. Good to see you here.
Hello, hello.
He comes from your side,
Oh, okay,
CR,
okay, okay. I guess the stream's still going on my side.
because
Okay.
he
That's good.
has a link symbol on his name.
Oh, yeah, okay. That explains it then. Okay. At least now I know. If you have to refresh or come back in, the stream keeps going. On the co-host side.
Yeah.
That's good. Alright. Yeah, you
CR
just...
has severe static. Yeah, I know.
I hate the microphone. I don't know why it does that only
You're
on
still
stream.
streaming, CR? Well, he co-streaming.
Yeah, it's co-streaming. Because actually, this is the topic I gave him. So, and I wanted to talk about it myself anyways. And I
Traditional hand
figured,
comforter splits you can buy on Amazon for cheap now. Okay, good to know.
anyways, I missed the question that you
See
guys were
you all
asking
soon.
earlier.
Hey, Bob.
Hello, Bob. Alright. I missed the question you guys were asking earlier.
That about solar heater,
I mean, if you get sunlight, yeah.
solar water
It's hard.
heater to disinfect
I,
water.
I mean, it's possible, right? It's a UV type of thing, right? Usually you need a clear bottle to do that, and it takes some time to do that. But that ideally works with more clear water, not cloudy water.
Yeah,
So that's just another option to consider on top of everything else, right? The water filtration, distillation, UV, water purification tablets, chemical treatment of whatever, right? Bleach or whatever, right? Pool shark, whatever, right? Those are all options, right? That should be on the table. You know, especially if you're
yeah,
having to source out the water itself.
yeah.
Because I think the last thing you want is some diarrhea or something like that. That's the last thing you want to happen. But then again, you need the water to consume for drinking purposes. Or like how I say, for the coffee. You might want in the
Yeah.
morning. Hey, it's Canadian family life? Alright.
Tech by V says water can be boiled in a solar oven. I don't yet have one myself. Yeah,
Or you take a
no,
long, like an hour or so to pasteurize it.
yeah,
But then,
that would basically take a long time.
however, it depends what you have access to. Like I said, if it's sunny out that whole day, right? You just sit it out there, you
Uh,
set it and forget it, right? You sit, chill in the shade. Because you're not actually doing the physical work. And the thing, I should remember, the water restriction that's happening here in Canada right now in that place, there's a fire ban, right? So you're not using fire out there. Because you're not,
yeah,
right? But solar is an option, right? Remember, it is sunny out right there, right now, right? So solar ovens, right? You know, could be an option, right? Especially with a fire ban, you can't. Let's say you
yeah,
want, whatever, right?
yeah,
You could do something like that. You know what I always say, Shadow? You know, the more options you have, the more choice you have, the better choice you can make because you have more options
yeah.
to
I
do things.
agree.
You know,
I
whatever is
agree.
best at that scenario or situation, right? You know, it's cardio, I'll use something else. Oh, hey, it's sunny and cool out. I'm going to use the solar option. I just have to sit it out there and come back a little bit later, an hour or so. and I'd be good.
Uh, Tammy says my great grandparents' home had a cistern, but cisterns come with a history of bacteria problems. Yeah, they do. They have a history of bacteria problems. Dispensary is very rare in true natural springs. You have more of a chance to get sick only from water sources with that within 15 miles of a city.
Hmm.
Dysentery.
Hmm. You know, I should start using that word. I should actually
Yeah,
start using that word on the chat. It's got CR in it. I might as well start using it.
yeah,
So anyway, Shadow, I was gonna say, like I said earlier, before I start the co-stream of this, when I was
yeah,
asking, anyways, some other people just joined us on my side. Like I said, right now here in Canada, there's a place where there's water restrictions. Right, first
yeah,
day, cut your usage by 25%. Next day or two, cut your water usage by another 25% on top of that. Right, and such. Right,
yeah,
and right now, ever since yesterday, because I just heard about it. They said it's gonna be a couple more weeks still, probably the rest of the month, and it's already been a week. So that's
yeah,
that 3 week window, right? So
yeah, it is.
hopefully people out there have something to use, right? Because like I said earlier, right, the grid's still up, right? People are still working, right? So if you work in like construction, you're not get dirty. Your clothes are not get dirty. If you work in, let's say, the hospitality industry, like a waitress or a worker like that deals with food, you got to come in with clean clothes. Right? Your boss may understand a little bit, but you know,
Yeah,
eventually you need to come in with fresh clothes, a fresh wardrobe, right? Clean clothes. I mean, especially if you're working on by like equipment with grease and all that stuff, you gotta get that off, and clothes and
yeah,
all that stuff too, right? So, like you said, it's supposed to rain there tonight, tomorrow morning, right? So like I said earlier, I would consider that rainwater as the resource to use. At least try, you know, do what you can with it. You know, if it's pouring out, I mean, I put shirts outside, I put clothes outside and just let them rinse in rainwater just by pouring rain.
yeah. Colin says, I have to get going. Talk to you later. See you
Yeah,
around.
okay. I'll
Thanks a
see
lot.
you. See you. I appreciate you coming by. But you know what I mean? You know, you
Yeah,
gotta, when the opportunities come, consider
hey,
them.
Cecil.
Consider them.
Good to see you, man.
Hi, Sassy. She's back. I really dig how Sassy's here now. Oh yeah, I just said that to you, Sassy.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean, right? You gotta take those opportunities when they come,
yeah, yeah. I agree. Every
because
opportunity you
because right,
can get, you
yeah,
take them. Okay.
you know, you gotta take advantage of those because those might actually make or break it for what it is, right? Maybe not, but it might make or break it. At least, you know, if you did some laundry, let's just say you got some rainwater to do some laundry or something like that, at least you would have a fresh shirt again. You know what I mean? A
Yeah,
fresh shirt to wear that's kind of a little bit more, at least a fresh, it'll freshen it up, right, and stuff like that. Maybe you won't get all the stains out just by leaving out in pouring rain, but at least it would be refreshed, right?
yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
do when I go camping. Like if it rains, I'm not gonna use I'm gonna use the rainwater because it just came down and now my socks are refreshed again. That means I can change back into them again, or if I put them in my bag, it's not gonna stick on my bag when I come back.
Yeah,
All right. And it's nothing, and I didn't have to do much, right? Mother Nature's just gonna do the work for me. I just have to gather it or put said items outside to wash or whatever, something like that, right? A container to gather it. Mother
yeah,
Nature will take care of the rest for me. Especially with the grid up still, right? We're still getting weather forecasts. People can still check on when the weather how the weather might be, if a chance of rain or whatever, or if heat's coming, right? Because right now there's rain tonight and tomorrow there. Not
Yeah,
much. There's still some, but the next weekend's forecast is, like I said, gonna be plus 30, 90 Fahrenheit weather. It's gonna be much hotter. It's gonna be summertime weather. You sweat more, right? So your clothes are gonna get stinky faster. You're gonna consume more water more because obviously it's hotter out and all that stuff, right? And your pants too, right? You still gotta get water. You know what I mean?
yeah. Uh, Tomorrow we will have some rain, and at the most we will have 4.2 millimeter rain. So
I think the
that it
forecast there
is
is
not
like
much.
8 or 10. I mean, with a large enough area, you can get enough, but it's probably not that per se poor with pouring rain, but it will shower at least.
No
Cause
worries, Canadian family. No worries.
okay, because like I was saying to my friend, and I said earlier, right? It's this. It's not that it's not rain that it's not instantly solve everything. No, no, it's that psychological thing of it raining. That there is some relief. It's just like if you're out in the ocean with barely any water and it starts raining, you don't rejoice because it's going to bring you some relief, right? You can have,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's the psychological thing, and maybe get people to do something and get their mind around what's going on right now or what it
yeah,
is, you know. Because like I said, I don't think any of them want to see announcement day zero or 2 days or 3 days or 4 days till day zero. Yeah, you don't want to hear that and stuff like that. So
yeah. Hugo says watering animals, garden fruit trees, and filling back water. Yeah, that
yeah,
sounds like a good idea.
yeah, because you got to remember the pets too that you have or whatever, right? You need your dogs, your cats, whatever. They in time need that water too, right? So
Yeah,
you got to factor all that stuff in if you got pets and stuff like that.
yeah,
How many
and
people you have in your household, right? Two, three. If you're a bachelor, that's one thing, right? You
yeah,
can go forgo a lot of things at times, right? But if you get a family of four, you got pets, that's a lot more water than you think, right?
Hugo says I have really been getting into the spirit of this stream. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, you there, Hugo. Okay. She's been around me way too much.
uh,
Uh,
last month we didn't had not a single drop of rain at all, and we had pretty hot days in May too. So
I mean, I've seen 25, 26 here. I haven't seen 30 Celsius here yet, personally, but it's kind of more seasonal for me.
yeah,
It looks like this month we're gonna see that summertime kind of heat. It's gonna come out west here. But yeah,
yeah,
that's what. That's because I was speaking to other people and I was saying, they should be lucky it's not the heat of the summer yet. Where it's like, because if this was during a heat wave as well, it'd be
yeah,
way more. It would be way more out there because the issues or the situation would magnify a lot more. Right?
yeah,
Because people would want to have a cool shed, cool down, or whatever, right? And some other things might happen, then yeah. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that. I'm cross my fingers. I'm being optimistic, but being realistic about the situation, right?
yeah. I agree with you about that.
Yeah, because I think, like I said, what and people don't realize at times is like the people that are trying to get the system back. They're human, right? They're working not like day and night, 24/7, but very minimal sleep, right? So, and there was already technically there was already a worksite accident that delayed half a day, right, and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, and realizing, what they say might be very optimistic, right? Realistically, there probably may be more issues, for example, right? So, this is why I say about the buffer zone of resources, skaters, stuff like that, right? The skills, knowledge, and experience, right?
Yeah.
Because now buy you the time that you need. Because you have, for example, if it's pipes that's bursted, you don't know the exact timeline for it. It won't take forever, but it won't be by the next day year, right? So you need enough to kind of get you by. Hopefully not just survive, and obviously, like maybe
Yeah.
still be able to fly through the situation for what it is. You stored up some extra water for drinking purposes. You got a barrel water, some barrels for rainwater for your plants, your garden, the space you have, the flowers you have, right? You know, and stuff like you have other things in place where you check for leaks. You use mulch for your garden. You water only in the morning or in the evening, outside the heat of the day and stuff like that. You try to reuse gray water that you do use and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, because it might give you enough that you can have that extra shower, extra 2 minute shower, or have that extra cup of coffee, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. You know, if anything, do it for that reason, right? So you can have that extra water for coffee, right? Or your tea, or so you can everyone in the family can have an extra, let's say, liter of water a day, like acid drinking water, right? That they can use, right? You know, because let's face it, these people are still going to work, school. Well, maybe not school because it's June, but work. Any of these people that do construction or whatever, right? They're gonna bring lots of water into work. They're gonna drink that. They're gonna wash their clothes or whatever, right? Stuff like that. So, and like I said, people anyone that's a waitress or anything like that, right? You're gonna come in with relatively clean clothes, right? Fresh clothes. So, not being able to wash your clothes because of it, kind of sucks, right? Hence what I said about the rain and realizing what is offered to you at times. You know, you know what I mean, Shana?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Tammy says if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down to save water. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can only do that so much, right? And again, you know, some rain catchment might help you with that, something like that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, sometimes people have to flush twice. I'm just saying, it does happen. Unfortunately, right? For what it is. I'm just saying. Realistically, right? But that way,
Hey, Howie.
hi, Howie. Okay. And yes, that when I'm co-streaming with Shadow this afternoon. No, he's on your side. Like, yeah, I keep forgetting. It's that link thing I see, hey? It's that link thing that shows that it's on my side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. First time co-streaming. Like I said, this is an important topic, and that's why I wanted to actually do it. I take the time for this because it's important enough. And some people are actually going through this right now. Alright? It's not
Yeah.
just some hypothetical thing, alright? It's not like some EMP or something like that. People are actually going through this, like, literally right now as we speak. Even here in Canada. Alright? And one always thinks Canada's so abundant with water, well, now when the pipes burst and broken, and this pipe is big enough to fit a vehicle in, right? And all this other stuff, and they don't know the problem or trying to still figure it out. So it's not
Yeah,
even.
and Howie
Yeah.
says your audio is so funny, CR.
Here, I'll try to put on the headset. Sorry. I really have. Oh, my headset has no.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
That's because I'm using a headset. Like, remember, my headset
Yeah.
doesn't. I can't always have it on because it doesn't. I can't. I don't have that much runtime on it, so hopefully I'll be able to go for a little bit longer. Hopefully, at least for the next hour while this is going. So yeah. Anyways, this is why I brought this up to you in the first place last week, the week before, because actually, when I suggested this last week to him, the situation here in Canada, it was already happening in the beginning stages, right? So, and
Yeah.
like I said to you, it'll still be going on by the time this stream happens, and
Yeah.
yep, it still is. And I've been reading more about this, not just here in Canada, but other places. There's Mexico, Mexico City is going through situations like this too. Not necessarily water restrictions, but dealing with lack of fresh water for what it is, right? Because I know we're talking about water restrictions, but in general, the water itself, right? Because if you have some, you're good. If you don't, well, you're not so good. You know what I mean? Because you start to
Yeah.
feel that, right? You gotta have you, because then that would lead to having to ration it and all that stuff more than usual. Because you only get so much, right? Maybe they truck in some water, right? But you only get so much, because they're gonna allocate it for a lot of people, right? And stuff like that. And people don't realize sometimes, people may do things for that water that they
Yeah.
normally may not do. Because down in Mexico, because I was watching something about it, I forget where the channel was, but they said the trucker says sometimes people will try to pull him over and say, "Give me the water. I need it more than these guys down the street or whatever," right? And all this stuff. And he has the drivers have to deal with this all the time, right? Because, people are really uh, not at ease, right? Because, lack of water, they're just getting minimal, just getting by, you know what I mean? Like, they're just got enough to drink with, but barely enough to use it with food or flesh with or to wash up with, right? For cleaning
Yeah.
purposes, whatever, right? Laundry, whatever, right? So,
Second star says you can re-drink and re-boil bath water if you don't use soap and shampoo.
although those bathwater may contain oils in it from your skin, though, but that's probably
Yeah.
very minimal, very very minimal, right? So, like I said, it just depends, right? Because and the thing is about this situation, these guys didn't say no one saw that coming, right? It's not like some sort of storm, hurricane, or something like that. Very unexpected because literally it was working, then it wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought so. It's just one of those things, right? So it's not like people could have stored up some like in a water ball in a bathtub, right? Like they do in a hurricane before hurricanes or a big tornado or storm, right? People would do that, right? Could do that,
Yeah.
but no one saw this coming, right? So no one could per se. You couldn't prepare beforehand because there was no lead time. The only lead time you had was just preparing, just casually beforehand, right? Just because you're trying to get more prepared. Maybe you're starting a garden, so you added some more rain catchment, right? Because if you didn't do it now, it's not raining, not yet, anyways, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if you don't
Yeah.
have the water catchment out now, you're not going to see them rain for a while, for another week, right? like, because you're missing that opportunity again, right? That could help you out, right? It's just like I said about like if you're stuck on the ocean in a survival situation in a dinghy or a lifeboat, right? If it rains,
Yeah.
you're utilizing that opportunity because it's dropping in your lap this resource, literally, right? So you're gonna take advantage of it and do what you can with it, right? Because you realize that it's an important thing, and you know, like in this scenario here in the city, maybe it might not make or break it, but it would help. You could do stuff with it, especially if you have a yard, right? You have a way to gather, capture it, and hold it back to use later in the week, right? It might help you out, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're already rationing or conserving as much, really a lot more than you think. You haven't fished for the whole 3 days, and you're starting to see that smell.
Yeah.
You're starting to get that ring in the toilet, right? You're
Yeah.
just like and remember, this is still when the grid's out, right? You might still have people coming over, right?
Right.
And all that stuff, right? So yeah. And I think another thing is we need to remove the stigma of like kind of like these things that people are doing, right? You know, you know what I mean? Like you're not flushing right away or whatever. We're using gray water, for example, right? You know what I mean? Because
But
sometimes,
that is not recommended, Howie.
what's not? Sorry, I don't have my. Well, not if it's full of salt. Remember, your removes those extra electrolytes from your system. Not electrolytes, the salt from your because it has a higher sodium count level, among some other things, right?
Amongst other things, yeah.
Yeah, because it's highly concentrated in terms of uh, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just use the word minerals or salt as as a word. You know what I mean? That's why it's got a smell, a color, and all that stuff, right? But hey, if you distill it, I guess you're good. You're probably good. I mean, I've distilled like really bad, buggy rainwater before. It was fine.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the source and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm missing the comments.
Well,
Whatever. I
it
was just waiting
happened.
for Bob to show up. I was just waiting for Bob to show up. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to join us, be nice to have so I can start joining us.
I don't know. I sent
Yeah, I
private message to him, but I don't know if he
it's all
can
good.
see.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So, I mean, I get a gray water. It's because, frankly, it's not even that bad. I mean, if I just rinse something off,
Yeah.
right, it's not that bad for what it is. Right? Because I know, okay, there can only be so much in that water. You know. It's still relatively clear, so it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Because, and again, it comes back down to like if the situation goes on longer, or the temperature rises, or the consumption increases because of heat or necessity, right? You know, whereas I think what starts to happen is that as the situation gets more dire or drastic, more drastic options have to be they'll enforce more drastic options, unfortunately, because unfortunately the last thing any community or city town wants or area wants is counting
I
that
put it
date
in
as
the shared second store. I
the
don't
last
know
thing
if you can see that. But
the last thing they want is that uh, counting down to day zero for water, right? Because people have gone for that, right? They have reversed it, but it takes time. People have to get accustomed to it, right? Get used to it, you know. No
Yeah.
more than 15-minute shower. That's like 5 at the most, you know. You come in the shower, rinse your head off from top to bottom, put the shampoo in or whatever, and then rinse off and do all that stuff real fast.
Yeah. Hey, Bob.
Hey
Hi,
guys.
Bomb. You guys keep talking for a moment. I'll be right back.
Dealing with water restrictions, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a large sheet of thick plastic set aside for emergencies, and that's set aside for one of those situations where you could take even if you keep a brand new shower curtain or a roll of plastic like that handy.
Yeah.
So when it rains, you could spread it out and drain that off and use that as drinking water or however you have to use it. But there's a survival method of gathering water is you dig a hole in the soil and put cellophane or plastic over top of it, and then just drop a pebble in the middle of the plastic. And then you can place like a coffee cup underneath the pebble. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
like a
water will
source
come up.
still.
Yeah. Water will come up and it will drain off into a cup, but you won't get a
Yeah.
lot. But it's better than dying.
Well, hey, that could at least make up, get you that water for the coffee in the morning.
Yeah. Hmm.
Something like that, right? If anything, right?
Yep.
That just means, hey, I still have coffee. Now I can have this cup of coffee, right? Because this water I reclaimed through something else, through distillation, for example, right? So
Hmm.
it's not subject to the water restrictions because it's either gray water, rainwater, or you're reusing it again. So
Yeah.
something to keep in mind.
One thing I get free water from the gutters on my gazebo because
Mhm.
I made rain chains, and the rain drips off my gutters and go down the rain chain, and I drained it right into 5-gallon buckets, and I use that for my plants. Let's see.
Hey, Papacho. Good to see you. Hey, Amy. Good to see you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Oh, by the way, Bob, I'm co-streaming this on my side.
Oh, okay.
So, as an FYI.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, I'm actually
Well,
trying to keep this serious, actually, a little bit
yeah, I
more.
was just wanted to look at Miss Amy's. Definitely looks like a Filipina, maybe.
Yeah,
But
she
it's
is.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Bob, I'm already taking notes.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, but yeah.
oh, Miss Emmy, that's gross. It's like this toenail stuff going on. Ooh, I'm looking at her channel. Like, ooh, toes, feet, yuck. Okay, done. We're okay.
DMY,
Dis
DMY,
dismissed.
DMY, 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 DMY,
Dismissed.
DMY, DMY, DMY.
Dude, I
Yes,
ain't
sir.
into that whole foot stuff.
Okay.
Uh,
But anyways, when you were talking about
Okay,
the,
Howie. No problem. Thanks for
oh,
stopping
how you,
by the way.
so yeah, when you were mentioning about that plastic, right? I mean, like, I've done that with garbage bags before and a
sure,
clothesline,
Anytime,
right?
Amy.
sure you
And
can.
kind of funnel it into like a bucket, right? And it's not even that
Hmm.
hard. You know,
Yeah.
you just need some clothespins or something like that, binder clips, something even on a
Yeah.
container, right? And you're just
Hmm.
funneling it in. You're increasing the surface area to catch that water,
Yep.
and it
Hmm.
funnels it into one spot. Like, I mean,
Yep.
that's something most people have. Most people in the town or city are gonna have some form of garbage bag of some sort. You just cut it in half, lay it out, right?
Mhm.
Let it gather some water, right? As an option, all right. Especially if if you're rationing water quite a bit already, or due to water restrictions, and you know
Mhm.
you're thinking, I wouldn't mind a little bit more to work with. I already cut up my coffee, right? Or something like that, right? Do it for your coffee then, all right? Do it for your coffee, right? So you can have that cup of coffee, for example, right?
Yep.
You know,
Or washing. Yeah.
yeah, or
Yeah.
or some of your plants that you might have, right? There's no, because right now this area there's fire bans and no outdoor water use whatsoever, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, like your plants, right? Unless you got rainwater, your plants are gonna go down in time. It's just a matter of time before they start to wilt, right? Even if you had mulch on the ground and all that stuff, you sparingly use drip irrigation or whatever, the plants still require some water in time, right? So even just doing it for that reason, right? You know,
Yep.
so let's say you had tomatoes. Let's say you're growing tomatoes or whatever, right? You know you're trying to get them through this hard situation, right? You got water to drink, right? But realizing that if I had some more water, then I can give them some water, and maybe I can get this tomato plant to handle until you know the system comes back online. All right, you're just basically buying yourself time until the system comes back. That's what I always say about this buffer zone of preparedness. It's to buy you time until, let's say, the grid comes back, or in this case, the water to come back,
Yeah.
to 100% again.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's why I find it frustrating that some people want to prepare for the absolute end of the planet, the end of society. Uh, I don't see it that way. I want to prepare until the power comes back on or transportation starts working again. You know what I mean? It's like
mhm. well, it's
society is
Hey,
never
Matt.
going to end.
Hey, brothers.
Mhm.
oh, look who it is! We got an all-star lineup here, boys and girls, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
Star,
Dang!
what's up? Mhm.
What's up, Paul? How
Oh,
you
let me
doing?
bow to your presence, sir. No.
No.
But yeah,
Well,
okay, Star. You live in Texas, so you're probably well aware about how water's so important.
yeah.
All
Like
right.
here, we're already in a, what is it? 3 month water restriction. Um,
Yeah.
like so bad that they have in San Antonio and everything already went to water usage to that they are filtrating urinal, bath water, stuff like that, and
Okay.
giving it back to people.
Okay,
Like,
Idaho,
going
brother, girl, no
different
problem.
system.
Take care. Thanks for stopping by.
And
Here, I know we're gonna go. Second Star, you're breaking up there a little. Is it just me? It sounds like you're breaking up a
probably my
bit.
signal.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to paraphrase what he just said. He was saying that now they're trying to reuse gray water filtering and whatever process they use to kind of make it back into like a drinkable state, or
Yeah.
a higher standard of state. Yeah, that's what he's basically saying. And really, if you think
Can
about it,
you hear me?
and it's still breaking up. I'm trying to
Okay,
hear
bro.
what you're saying, and I'll try to paraphrase it in to everyone else that's listening. But yeah, I mean that's an important thing too to understand that it might come down to that sooner than later, right? Especially as the population of an area grows, right? More people consume water, manufacturing takes water, industries take water, agriculture takes water, right? All the
Yeah,
clothing
nuclear
industry,
nuclear
yeah,
plants needs water.
all right. Water for cleaning, dry cleaning, laundry, all those laundromats, right? Like I can just imagine in this place right now, there's probably not even laundromats open, commercial laundromats open, because there's no outdoor swimming, there's no swimming pool, there's no arenas using an ice skating, right? All these things are canceled or delayed right now heavily. until further notice, right? Because it's relatively speaking in a water emergency, right? So people are kind of doing their thing.
All of our water parks and everything are closed down because of it. The only that they have open is just their like sitting pool, and that's it.
Yeah. See, Second Star just agreed with me. His area is having the same kind of restriction, right? And I mean, even there's a localized fire ban because they don't want fire trucks having to, fight fires unnecessarily, right? A localized fire ban, right?
Yeah, we have alternatives.
So no one's really, no outdoor fire, no one's camping. Well, I shouldn't say camping, but stuff like that. Because if this
they're not allowing open flames or anything in camping.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, because they don't want those fire hazards because that means they have to use water. All right, because if the fire department has to use water, that's a lot of water unnecessary. Yeah.
Yeah, we call it a dust fire truck, and what it does is spray these massive amounts of sand on a fire and like smell those to that.
Yeah.
But if it's a house or anything, you can't really do anything on
I
it.
think I made out what he said there. Can you make out what he said? Because I'm trying to make out what he said and paraphrasing it in.
Give me a second. Let me go out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe test the signal later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hard to make out what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's trying to say all these stuff. I can kind of make out every single word. Yeah. But yeah, Bob, like I said earlier, that cheating, right? Yeah, that's like, something like that. It's not expensive, but it can help in a situation like this. Maybe other situations too, if necessary, right? And if necessary, right? And you can get rain, but living in a suburban area, there could be issues with the water because infrastructure doesn't last forever. Right?
Yeah,
Those pipes don't last forever, right?
Earthquakes and all that can sever water mains pretty quickly.
Indeed.
Cutbacks on stuff, right? Cutbacks. Sometimes they're like, we're not done do the maintenance for another year. Cutbacks. And still, unfortunately, these things that are happening right now are just examples of this unfortunately coming together in a bad way for people. And some people didn't even see it coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or they think, oh, it never happens here. We're in first world nation, right? Yeah, but it just happened. And it's on your doorstep. What are you gonna do about it? Right? What are you gonna do about it? What are your choices? What options do you have available for yourself? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. This is why I'm trying to be very. I'm joking around a little, but I'm taking it serious because it is serious. Because
we're in good condition
couple days
right
out.
now. Well, we're in good condition right now, but it doesn't take too much to set you back for a while.
Yeah, because I don't know how it is when you go back overseas into the Philippines, Bob. How it is over there. I don't know. Maybe well, I know it rains there. Wow, but
we've got a large cistern, stainless steel cistern in our house over there, and it comes right off the gutters and goes right into there. So we've got all the water we need for our plants and even washing clothes. It's right there.
Yeah, that would buy you some time.
Oh yeah.
That's more independent. Yeah, because I know in Australia and some other places, right, people do have larger water supply, like a cistern or whatever. Usually, these are the places that are technically hot, but I mean, like, every place needs water in time. It doesn't matter if it's hot or not.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, right? So. And just because a river runs by, or hey, we got the infrastructure, well, that's all good. But once once you cut that link out, then what? That kind of thing, right? Because Because then you have one less option. Now, do you have another option, or was that the only option you had? Remember how I say, Shadow? If you only have one option, that kind of 2 is 1, 1 is none, right?
Hmm.
I mean,
The
for something
more
like
options you
water,
have, the better it is.
well, so for something like water, right? I mean, like, there's no substitution, right? You either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
You know, you either have ways to make it, bring it out from the air, some condensation, dew, or whatever, or finding ground sources or whatever, right? Rain for it to rain, or whatever, right?
Well, places like here, you got places like here in Texas. I mean, can you hear me good?
Yeah, you're still breaking up. I'm trying to make out what you were saying.
Crap. Okay, I don't know what's going on.
But you could always do the icon only thing. You could always try the icon only thing.
Yeah, that might work.
Yeah, might as well try the icon only thing.
Does that?
Well, you have to say something though.
Yeah.
You have to say something though. I don't know. It doesn't even sound that much better, to be honest.
No, it's
Well, yeah, it's still breaking up quite a bit. It's hard to hear every second word. It's kind of hard to paraphrase when I can't hear the words. But don't worry,
Yeah,
sir.
guys,
Don't.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I'll type in chat because my signal and everything it's just been bad out here.
Now it's really bad.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all in chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Alright,
Take care, brothers.
Okay.
Let's go. Yay!
All right.
Well, at least we had them up for a little bit. At least
Yeah, at least for a bit.
Oh, yeah. We heard every second word. That's all good. Oh yeah. Now this reminds me about, because since you're in, I remember that I think that watering can that you have filled with rainwater. I'm trying to remember that now. I think you briefly showed it in the video. I'm trying to remember now. Bob?
Huh? Oh, my rain chains was
No. The rain, watering can that you have, that you've rainwater in.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, it's pouring down outside again right now. Yeah, I've got rain chains on my gazebo, and I collect the water in 5-gallon buckets or in my watering can, and I use it for my flowers and stuff. But yeah, it's pounding down rain again right now. Dang it! I wanted to go out and do some more gardening today, but
It's all washed out.
just big time.
He's all washed out. Well, on the bright side, you have lots of rain to talk
Well,
about.
you get a free shower, Bob.
I do. Yeah. It's really coming down. It is just pounded down right now. Looking at my cameras outside, it's like, oh, look, Lord Almighty. Oh, Lord.
And again, taking advantage of that when it happens, if you need it, right? Let's just say, for example, for people here in Canada that are going through this, if their car's dirty right now or their vehicle, right? Hey, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Maybe I'll park outside for tonight. Hey, might help. Might help.
In fact, I'll be right back, fellas. I'm gonna go.
Right.
I'm gonna bounce outside real quick, gather up some of this rain right now while I'm just hanging out here.
Yeah, why not?
Be right back.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, I gather the rain, Shadow, and everyone else. I gather the rainwater for multiple reasons, but that's why I keep doing it now. All right. It's not just the preparedness part. There's other reasons why you gather it now more and utilize it. And as time goes on here, as situations arise in the real world, I realize, yep, this is the direction I want to go towards.
Driving Cat Homestead, Cecilia.
Hey, it's Cecilia. Hi, Cecilia. Welcome. Nice of you to join us. Yeah. I guess my stream's still running on my side, apparently.
Yeah, obviously.
Honestly. Yeah, Cecilia, we're talking about water and water. Well, it's titled water restrictions because I'm actually co-hosting with him. He's actually hosting it, but I'm co-hosting on my side. But really, we're talking about water in general, right? It's just, and Cecilia, I know you're aware of what's going out west here. I know you've seen the news highlights about it. You must have by now. It's only been happening for the last week. But
I
yeah,
have had a lot of rain and had a tornado warning here. Oh
yeah,
boy.
I think I heard about this. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, some places are getting too much rain. But
Well, if
if you
that is a
don't,
lot of rain and a tornado on that, that
yeah,
will mess things up definitely.
yeah,
You will probably have a flooded areas and well,
yeah.
a lot more.
Hey, Shadow. Maybe we could do a stream about when there's too much water. We're talking about when you don't have enough water right now, or whatever. Maybe we could talk about when you have too much water.
Well,
That could be an issue. It does happen, and that's
yeah,
related to a lot of things, right? Flooding, localized flooding, hurricanes and stuff like that, right? And that's happened here in Canada, the U.S., Europe, Asia. Yeah, it happens almost everywhere too. So, and again, the things that people have to do or need to do, all right?
yeah.
So,
Huga says feast or famine. Got to have
yeah,
ways to collect it when you get rain for the drought times. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's actually why I started to do it more is because then I can reallocate the rainwater when it's sunny. Well, that's how I say it to people, right? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because yeah, there is some plants can handle less water, but if you do give them more water, they tend to grow better or bigger.
yeah.
So and stuff like that. So that's another reason why I do it now more and
Raving
more.
Cat says last year we had nothing but rain, no sun, and
You could call
cloudy
her
conditions,
Cecilia.
and this year it
She,
seems to be the same.
yeah. Well, like
Uh,
a drought. I mean, it's just like anything. Then still relying on the grid, right, for prediction, weather predictions like that, right? That still relies on the grid. You know, you know what I mean. So having water
yeah,
restrictions on top of the grid loss would be really, really horrible. So water restriction, but the grid still up. Well, utilize certain things, right? Like the weather forecast, for example, right?
yeah,
Because if the grid was down, you would know. There's absolutely no way you probably would not be able to know that. So
yeah. I agree with that.
this comes back to like utilizing the rainwater when it does fall, whenever possible, right? Because I think there's reasons why people don't want to gather rainwater. I think there's a couple of reasons. I think the mosquito thing is one of the main reasons, and the space for it. I think those are the two biggest reasons for why people
Yeah,
don't usually like to do it. But if you set up well or whatever, keep rotating it, it's not so bad. All right.
yeah. Prepper for the Ages says September 11th,
Yeah.
2023. We had 7 inches of rain in 4 hours. The whole town flooded. One dam failed, and one dam came within 15 minutes
Now
of
that looks
failure.
nice, Bob. Is
I
that what
just
you're
now
talking about?
recorded that. Yeah, those are the rain chains that I made. It's coming off of
Yeah,
my gazebo.
Yeah.
You know,
I, I
just
mean,
now.
I mean, they're funneling the water towards something, right?
They are right into a 5-gallon bucket. I'll try to
Yeah.
show it again real quick. Yeah, try to get this set up for you. I thought I'd add that to your conversation. I made
Well,
those
it
rain
is part
chains
of it.
right here in my shop, and then
yeah,
there it comes right down into what I just put an empty 5-gallon bucket underneath there to catch the rain from my plants and stuff. So that'd be a good thing to
Yeah.
add to your live in
Well,
actual in lifetime.
yeah, we're talking about water, and it's actually because it's sunny here
Yeah.
for me right now. It's sunny here. I'm not getting any rain out here right now. But at least
Oh
someone's
yeah.
getting somewhere. I mean, I got rainwater catchment
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, to grow a garden, you don't need a lot of water, anyways. For what it is,
Absolutely, yeah. And my
right?
plants like the rainwater much more than they like the tap water, so
Yeah,
it's a
because
bonus.
it has dissolved gases in it while it's falling,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and it's mixed in there and all that stuff. In comparison to well water or municipal tap water,
Yep.
those are different. And of course, it's not distilled water. So yeah.
Oh, is that my
So
Amazon guy? Whoa. Ooh. 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 I'm just looking at my cameras.
I was
Come to
just
my
out
house,
there.
dude. Come again. He just recorded. Come here. Come here. Is he coming to my house? Come on, Amazon guy. I got something on order. Sorry to be such a spaz, but there he goes. He's running. Okay, I got a package out front. Be right back, guys. Sorry.
He'll be back
Okay,
again,
no
everyone.
problem.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, last year around this time, well, not exactly at this time, like last summer, I managed to pick up a few more containers for water catchment, so increased my max capacity a little bit more for what it is.
yeah,
I mean, it's nothing elaborate, too elaborate or fancy, but I'm still working on it. I'm trying to improve the system
yeah,
overall, right? And all that stuff, delivery, how clean it is, and all that stuff, right? I'm working with it first
yeah.
and stuff like that. Because
Well, you set up a system, and then you need after a while you need to modify it.
well, I'm trying to make improvements on it, right? Trying to
Yeah, that is
upgrade
what
it,
I mean
update it,
by
yeah,
modifying it.
yeah, stuff like that, right? Because I rule, like I said, garden tends to work better when you actually have water. You can put as much mulch as you want, but in time you do need to add water into the system, right? Doesn't matter how heat tolerant a plant is, in time it does need water, right? You know, because you need both the rain and the sunshine
Yeah,
for a garden. So you know, because I actually have been asking my friend to keep tabs out for me because
yeah,
I haven't been able to actually find real here on the YouTube side where I can see videos about people showing stuff or doing something about it, right? Like I know there's government news, stuff like that. Yeah, that's a given, right? But that's just a small point of view of it. I'm trying to find stuff that people are doing.
yeah,
Just every normal day content creators, average Jane or Jill doing out there. It's hard to find something like that because every so often the news will say something like, "Oh, this older lady's using lake water to or river water to water her plants." Then another news article says people are putting a bucket to gather rainwater to gather shower water while they're in the shower. Okay, right, but that's few in between, few two. That's a very small percentage of it, right? I'm
Yeah.
trying to see if people are saying some other stuff. What are
You
people doing?
also got to remember to save water. So shower with your wife. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That
Well,
works too.
Uh-huh.
Let me
That's
grab my
that's
pencil
water.
out.
That's
No,
that's
no, no, no,
water
dude.
conservation right there. What do we got? I got my
Okay,
Amazon
okay,
stuff
okay,
on.
okay. I'm
Yeah,
taking notes, Bob. I'm taking notes, Bob.
that's
I'm
okay.
taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Hmm.
I'm taking notes on this. All right. Hey, it may come down to that. It might come down to it.
Uh,
All right.
this is one of
Yeah.
the best gardening tools I've ever had. My last one, I broke the tip of it off. I got this on Amazon, guys. Did a little gardening tip for you. Broke the tip of it off by ramming it into concrete a couple times with this little thing right here. It's not a sickle. It's made for soil. Yeah, get one of
Well, I'm
these.
not a
Trust
sickle.
trust me. It's not a sickle. It's made for soil. You angle it through your soil and it's got a nice sharp tip on it. pop your weeds right out. That is one of the most awesome gardening tools I've ever owned. I broke the tip off my last one, so I just, it's only $17, so I ordered another one. It's made in Japan.
Yeah,
Good stuff. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I agree. Prepare for the ages. You can have water restrictions when there's flood due to contaminated water supply.
That happens. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, couldn't that happen because the treatment plant's out of order or something like that too? Something like that.
Yeah. Plus the
Yeah.
pipes get flooded with contaminated water.
Yeah, and they had to flush that system all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that. See, one good thing about having this situation happen, that's basically here for me. Cross my fingers that won't happen here, but I get to see these other things and start to understand if it did happen here or, wherever I am, right? I'd be like, oh, there's a procedure they do. It's not as straightforward as it looks. They got to do all the stuff like pushing the system at the end, right? And stuff like that. That still has to
Yeah.
happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was telling my friend who lives down there right now, it's like, yeah, once you see them flushing the water in the system, people are gonna rejoice. But until then, people just gotta, keep on going, all right? Buy the system more
You are
time,
most
right?
welcome, peace journey.
You know what I mean? That's the thing, all right? You're preparing to buy yourself time, especially in a
Socks.
situation like, yeah. Did you say socks?
Socks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said something else. I was like,
Socks.
did you say socks? Yeah.
Yeah, just simple socks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I've washed socks with rainwater before, even out camping, right? So that's not that difficult, really. And stuff like that. So
No, I haven't tried the Timu. I haven't seen that. I haven't used that. Well, somebody asked in the side chat, have you tried Timu?
yeah,
No. We've got a distribution center, several near my home, so and I know several of my friends work for Amazon, so I would rather support Amazon.
yeah,
It's local,
yeah,
and some of my
yeah,
friends work for them, so
yeah,
I'm
I
staying where
understand.
I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I guess another thing to remember with this wire restrictions is, well, I kind of briefly mentioned it earlier, is that
Mhm.
there are certain things that are not going to be able to happen. There's no pools, no outside pools, right? So if you're a lifeguard, you're not working. If you work at a gym, it might be closed. You work at a skating rink, and it's whatever rink. Maintenance guy that runs the Zamboni for the day or whatever, you ain't working. And all this other stuff because they all need water, right? You know what I
And
mean? Like you work at a water, like if you
one
work at
thing,
a water park, they might be
one
closed
thing,
down.
one thing that would crush the will of all Canadians if you stopped hockey. No hockey. Canada would go into turmoil.
Actually, Bob,
No,
there's
that
supposed to
would be
be
civil unrest.
There's
Yeah.
supposed to be Bob. This
Huh?
area that's
What?
affected here in Canada, there's a major event next month
Okay.
for that area, for that place. So they really want to get that back up before that happens because a major event, or you don't have a major, they're either going to cancel it or they're going to have all the big water trucks outside with porta potties outside. I don't know,
Uh-huh.
right? It might come down to that. And
Yep.
Canada Day's
Okay,
coming
that's
up.
good.
Canada Day's also coming up. Remember that. It's June 15th, 16th, right? Two
Okay.
weeks. Couple more
2
weeks,
weeks.
right?
Right on.
Right? Because if the water does come back, they're not done with the fire ban, which means there's no fireworks for that area either.
What's that
They're
date,
not done.
CR? What's that date? Is it July 5th?
First,
First?
yeah,
Yeah, because I knew that U.S. and Canada's are close. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so look at it like that, all right? Well,
Mhm.
the water does come back, doesn't mean they won't lift the fire ban. With
Mhm.
the fire ban in place, they're not gonna have fireworks. It's just how it is. It's just,
Oh, yeah.
and besides, the cost itself, right? Right now, they're gonna prioritize, the system itself, right, over the fireworks. stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all.
Has it
And
been?
then
Has it?
that, I mean, just to indicate some other stuff. That means no outside water parks, no outside these events, right, and a lot of stuff because the water usage, right? So it'll change things. So
Yeah.
I'm
Has it been
hoping the
that?
system.
Has it
Yeah.
really been that dry in Canada?
Well, specifically, listen, we didn't get much snow out west here for what it is. I mean, I've gotten the rains here, but other places haven't. And this
Uh huh.
place, the water main broke, like the big in output pipe that delivers it, right, directly from the water treatment plant, right. That's that line is severed
Okay.
because so like it's now it's not the only water treatment plant they have, but they're trying to feed 1 million people or whatever with a bunch of water, but at 40-60% capacity, at half capacity. That means that's why the water restrictions were in place. You know what I mean? Because because if you use more than can be replaced, eventually the that metaphoric gas tank is going to go all the way down to zero, and then you'll be in a worse spot. So
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
yeah, so that's why I've been saying about the rainwater and all this stuff, right? And it's not going to be a magic bullet for them. It's just to increase the morale of people, right? The gardeners will rejoice, because they have that water catchment or whatever. They'll be able to water their plants again because
Yeah.
both rainwater and river water or lake water is not subject to the water restrictions, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's only fresh water that's coming in, right?
I get it. I get it.
Because they don't want those reservoirs to go empty because that's what gets filled, right? The water treatment plant fills up those reservoirs, and the reservoirs are gravity feeding that water to you, right? But as soon as those reservoirs go out or empty, yeah, that means your taps just gonna drip out, or might not even come out with water, right? If your water didn't come out, I think that would heighten your alertness to the situation a lot more. You'd be like, "What the hell? I just had water this morning,
Yeah.
right?" You'd be concerned, right? Because obviously you can't have your coffee or your sports drink that you mix in, or let's just say you're like an weight training power lifter or whatever. Your protein drinks that you mix in with water. Think about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that might start affecting you, right? That's why I said about the water affecting a lot of people, not just the gardeners, not everyone, business, residential, personal, gardeners out there, all this stuff, right? The people working related into this, people that work as lifeguards, the arenas or whatever that work the Zamboni, and all that stuff, right? They're not working right now, you know, you know,
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're going to get compensated for any of it, really. You know what I mean? So
Good
that's
point.
affecting those people. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
People forget about some of these people relying on water for the work. There's no skating rink without water. There's no swimming pool or leisure center or whatever you want to call these swimming pools without the water, right? Those are all shut down because they can't, right? Because those are the first things to go out, be restricted out, right? Because those are quote unquote non-essential, or compared to water to drink, firefighting, that's more important for what it is, right? So, yeah. People kind of forget about that at times. It's like, oh yeah, don't forget about these people, right? And all that stuff. Car washes, I don't know. Some of these car washes reclaim their water, but I mean, like, I don't know how much water they can keep reclaiming before they start running low on water. Because, even if you're reclaiming some of that water, some of it seeps in the ground and evaporates, right? So you do get some loss of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, you can't. People are trying to conserve or reclaim some of that water. Well, you're probably not reclaiming all 100% of it. You know, maybe 90,
Mhm.
95, 99%, but in time, because you have a loss of, let's say, 0.1%, in time you will run dry. Even though you're trying to reclaim it and stuff like that, right? And not only that, it has to go for some sort of to remove certain things out of it, right? Sediment, whatever, right? That's in it. So yeah, because when I've been reading about it, people have been commenting, "Well, I just saw this car wash that day," or whatever, right? You know, but some people don't realize some of these car washes they reuse that water, they reclaim it again, right? It doesn't just go down the drain. They actually kind of filter it out and reuse it again. That's right. So some people don't realize that, right? They just assume they're using a bunch of water and all that stuff without realizing. Oh, did you go ask? No, they actually reclaim it. You know what I mean? So a little research in terms of like understanding how these things work, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. Mhm.
You know, because I think it's one of the things that, you know, some people just didn't understand what was going on, right? Or how important it is, right? Because some people are like, oh, doesn't the water, they just pump the water to my place, right? And no, they pump it to a reservoir and the reservoir uses gravity to feed it to your place. That's how it goes, right? Not a lot of people know that, right? So they don't realize it's like, oh, can't they do this? Or whatever, can I do this?
Thanks for the
No, it doesn't
reminder,
work like that.
Anthony.
You know, it doesn't quite work like that, right?
Yeah, Second Star brought up a good point. The common sense is a lost art. You know, a lot of people only live by what they're told. So many
Yeah.
out there can't think for themselves, and that's a fact.
Well,
But
that's why you gotta diversify what you're knowing, all right, and open your
right.
mind to a few more
Hmm.
things, all right.
Hmm.
That's what if people just kind of like, you know, not flush right away, all right. We shouldn't be looking at this as like, ew, what are you doing that, all right? Because like if people are saying that still while there's a water restriction, I'll be like, you know, there's a reason for this, right? There's a reason why we're doing this, right? It's not like I want to, but
Yeah.
you know, or if you're using rainwater to push the toilet, there's a reason for it, right? So you know, understand their point of view of stuff, right? Because sometimes people are kind of too close-minded about certain things. Sometimes it's just like, and they question it right away. But why? Why would I do that? There's a reason.
Mm.
There's a reason. Why should I get rainwater? Because, you know, if you did this before the water restrictions, at least you would have a little bit more to work with right now. You know
I
what I mean?
agree with
Like
that.
with your plants or whatever, right? Especially if you're gardening, right? Because let's face it, a lot more people are gardening nowadays. A lot of people are more gardening, but you need water for that gardening. So, and if you're having issues with the water supply because water restrictions, right? No outdoor watering, you're gonna resort to something else. Rainwater, lake water, river water, right? Are not
Hmm.
subject to that restriction, right?
Yeah, they do that panic stuff with us here in the Seattle area. Like every other or every third summer. You know how they do it?
Mm,
It shows how susceptible people are to propaganda and BS. Okay,
mm.
because there's a
Okay.
number of lakes in this region that are actually hydroelectric dams.
Oh, I
Okay,
didn't even mention about that.
that they used to be forest land, but they had went in there a long time ago and cleared the timber. So the shallow areas still have stumps. Okay, so
Hmm.
the Seattle News Service will fly a helicopter over Lake whatever and show
Hmm.
stumps sticking up. Oh no, there's a water shortage. We're running out of water. And the
Fresh
power
water, let's just say.
companies and the water and the power companies and the water companies pay them to write a script for them and pay the brainwashing news that we're running out of water. And they'll play that 35 times a day on every news channel, on television news, that we're running out of water. We're running out of water. We're running out of water. And people in this region believe it, even though it just rained yesterday. And even
Or it's
though
been.
that,
I mean, it's not like you haven't seen rain for like weeks, let
yeah,
alone months. Right?
no, not even close, man. People, oh no, don't water people are so dumb. I've seen people do this. I've seen them, and they'll run over the neighbor's house. Oh my God, there's a water shortage. Oh, stop washing your car. You know, and you know why? You know why the water level
You
goes
know why my
down,
car's clean? Because it rained.
and you know why the water level goes down in a hydroelectric dam reservoir? It's because they're generating power, and the river is still flowing into the lake. But the people are so hard for me to deal with as I get older. It's like, you're dumb because you watch television. You are dumb. You watch TV. You're stupid. You're one of those TV watchers. You're brainwashed. You're out of touch.
Did you
Yeah,
try to, did you try to source out more information from another source, or see
yeah.
it with your own eyes?
Well, here's an example of. I think it was last year on all the prepper channels. Oh my God! All these ships are stuck in harbor. Oh, shortages! Oh no, the sea lanes are shut down. You know what I did? I drove down to the port of Tacoma, Washington, myself. I went there with my camera, and I showed them unloading ships in harbor and rail cars full of containers going into the
Yeah.
interior, and rail cars full of grain going to another facility, sending food out across overseas.
Hmm.
The harbor never shut down. It never did. There was no and these channels on YouTube. Oh my God, we're not going to have any food. We're not going to be able to get condoms anymore. And
You know,
I showed that myself, and I said, can we stop with this bullshit about
yeah.
ships stuck in the harbor, please? You know, yeah.
And the thing is, Bob, about this water restriction right now. Not a lot of the Canadian channels. Well, I should say, Canadian channels are talking about it, right? That's why I wanted to bring this up, because I'm like, why this should be just as important, if not more important than that, right? At least for a specific area right now, because it's serious enough. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but if you look back in short history a little while ago in Flint, Michigan,
Yeah,
you
I
know
think I
how
heard
they,
about that.
do you remember that? That wasn't that long ago. Okay?
Yeah.
What Flint, Michigan did was they put out across the news, we had to change our water, okay? And the water is being contaminated. Oh no, everyone's going to die. And that's one of the ways they shut down the residential area and all that around Flint,
Hmm.
Michigan. Because people were the city was going around shutting people's water off because you're not conserving enough. Do you remember that? And
I'm trying to
now
remember it.
people left, the residences of Flint, Michigan left because there was a water shortage, right?
Hmm.
Just keep that in mind, Canadian. Keep that in mind. That's how they damn near shut down the city of Flint, Michigan, because of the panic that they created with a, quote, water shortage.
Well, these people actually saw an open pipe, and getting pulled out of the crowd. A bunch of people working around it. So
Yeah.
there's
But
something
just keep
there. But yeah,
but just keep it in mind
yeah,
how
of course,
propaganda works.
yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying was, like, not a lot of it. It feels like not a lot of attention is said about it, even though it happened in a localized one city only. Hey, the infrastructure is not that much different around the country at times, right? It's aging
Yeah.
over time,
Mhm.
right? All right. Because what I've been hearing is since this happened, our places have been checking it out, making sure
Tech
that
by
they don't
me.
run
Take
it.
care. Stay safe. And God
All
bless.
right. Well, because they're
Thanks for stopping
trying to
by.
make sure. Yes, take care. They're making sure it doesn't happen to them, right? They don't want to go through the same hassle too, right? Because
Yeah.
because it's a major thing, all right. Obviously, all right. Without water in the system
Okay, peace, Johnny.
for the
Take
area,
care. Stay
that's
safe.
it.
Thanks
Yeah.
for stopping
They're
by.
take care, PJ.
So that, yeah, it's just that, well, it's another topic, yes,
Yeah,
but it's propaganda that changes the way that you live.
yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah.
It's like when every third summer here, they fly over the same reservoirs and show stumps sticking out of the water. Oh my God, it's a shortage. And now the water department pays them to do that. So does the power companies. And then they come back to Cairo News 7 in Seattle. There's water shortage, water shortage, water shortage. And then they double the rates on water and power.
Mm.
They double the rates. The
Um,
companies do that, you know?
Shadow, can you highlight that comment that Cecilia wrote? Uh, I do not know about you guys, but water costs a lot where she lives, so catching rainwater for a garden is a must.
Yeah, they
That comment, right?
technically in this area we're not supposed to have water catchment, but I got a couple 5-gallon buckets out there catching rain right now. Come and arrest me.
Well, what I mean, I forget who said it, but
You
there
know what
was
I mean?
dude or
Well, you
whatever
can say
in the
your roof
stream
is
said
leaking
about some places that
and
are legal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
when
but
I
what
was
I
cut when I was cutting a tree down and knocked the gutter corners off of my gazebo, the branches coming down, and so I'm out there catching the water right now. So I'm technically breaking a law right now by
but
catching a couple of 5-gallon buckets of water. You know,
like for example, if you were using a CB radio, right? Unless you have a license, it's illegal, right? But under emergencies, it's fine, right?
yeah.
That's
Hmm.
what I mean. Like in this type of situation, right? If there was a water shortage, right, and collecting rainwater should not be illegal if it was illegal in your area. That's what I mean.
Hmm.
Like we're trying to help the system here, right? Because obviously if you're using rainwater to, let's say, water something, and you're not using, per se, municipal fresh water, well, shouldn't that be helping the system?
Yeah,
If
it
there was
does.
a water restriction, right? I'm just
It
assuming,
does.
because you're
Sure,
not pulling
it
from a
does.
reservoir.
Hmm.
You're not pulling from a
Mm-mm.
reservoir for this. So,
No.
yeah.
It,
That's what I mean.
yeah,
Like I said about emergency situations, certain things are out the window, at least during that time, right? So why wouldn't water catchment be like that? They do that for CB radios. You don't need a
yeah.
license
Hmm.
under an emergency, right? If it was
Correct. Yeah.
or a survival situation, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Raven Cat over here. Sorry, CR, but Raven Cat gets what I'm talking about. Because Raven Cat said, you know, all these people advertising prepackaged emergency food
yeah,
are the ones who are shouting out about food shortage, water shortage. But if there's no shortage, if you buy it from me direct from the
oh,
factory. And 30%, it's marketing. A lot of that stuff you got to be real careful about.
yeah, the supply
You
and
know,
demand. I've heard of
yeah,
that. I've
yeah.
heard of that.
We're going to create a shortage and increase the price. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Mm. Although it's not always like that, but yeah, unfortunately, sometimes it is. It's not always like that though. Sometimes it is actually because it is actually happening. But then again, you know, are people actually seeing this stuff happen? Yeah, I just saw the pipe come out of the ground and it leads over there
Hmm.
to the treatment plant. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a real thing.
Yeah,
People are actually working at this. I can actually see it with my own eyes, right? Yeah, that's one thing. But like,
yeah,
it's just
okay, prepare for
that's
the
just
ages. Take care. Stay safe. God
yeah.
bless.
take care of
Thanks for
for
stopping
the
by.
ages. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why I was just like, I think a few more people are taking it a little bit more seriously in that area for what it is because they're realizing, it's
Hmm.
not just gonna be a quick fix done in a week, maybe even 2. It's been over 10 days now. 9, 10 days already in, right? You know, maybe
Yeah.
some people are only having a shower every second, third, maybe fourth day. They're not having their bath. They're not at the gym. They're not at the pool, swimming pool. They're not at skating arena or whatever, right? They can't do any of that stuff. So it's starting to affect
Mhm.
them in terms of what they're doing and what they're doing at home. So and stuff like that.
You get a reminder, CR, to eat before Cliff's live.
Okay, Cecilia. Cecilia, seriously? Seriously? She's just like, oh, I gotta throw that in. Just for you. FYI. Like, yeah. No, but it is important because, like I said, you know, some of us garden, right? Some water is important, right? Some of us,
Mhm.
you know, if you're a lifeguard, it's important. No water means you ain't doing any lifeguard duties without water. You're a skating instructor or whatever, figure skating or something, or a hockey, whatever, a hockey coach. There's no skating rinks open, right? You're not doing any practices. Your games are postponed or canceled for now, right? Amongst some other things, right?
Yeah.
It's like even right now, like probably there's a fire ban because of the result of this. That means no one's if you're trying to sell cords of wood for or whatever, it's non-existing because no one's burning anything either, right? Amongst some other things, right?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna bounce out of here.
Yeah,
So,
Take
and
care,
I'm
peace.
Bob.
gonna wrap
I
things
heard.
up anyway. So
Okay, peace out,
Yeah.
guys. Take care,
take
everybody.
care, Bob.
Yep.
Shadow. Do you mind if I go when you slip out to go? I want to go in for like 10 more minutes on my side, a little bit. Well, it doesn't really matter because unless I will just say it right now. I guess I'll just say it right now. Like how long?
Yeah,
10 more minutes?
yeah, Anthony, I'm a little bit tired yet.
Yeah. No. Then I'll just say it right now. Besides, I want to speak to you in the backstage for like 10 minutes anyway. Like I said earlier. For everyone that doesn't know, actually, I was in the stream with him before he started. 5 minutes before. I've been here for a very, very long time here.
Yeah,
But like I said, this is an important thing, in my opinion.
yeah.
And that's
I
why I had
think I wrap
lots to
things
say.
up now. I think I wrap things up now.
Yeah, so I appreciate everyone joining me on my side of the stream.
Yeah, and I
And
appreciate everyone
Shadow
who
allowing
was
me
on
to
my
co-host
side.
in. Yeah, co-hosting in, alright.
Yeah,
And stuff like that. And for a quick recap, 5-minute recap of everything, right? Just so we're on the same page back with everyone again. Let's remember the infrastructure is what it is, right? It ages
yeah.
over time. It's not gonna last forever, right? So things like this may happen in your area in time. Maybe not today, not this year, whatever, but in time it may happen, right? Or something similar that causes water restrictions to
Hey,
happen.
Guardian.
Oh, now he shows up.
And
Now
now
he shows up. He shows up.
I have to wrap things up now. I have to. Uh, but
Anyways,
I
it's nice
appreciate
to
you
see
guys.
you,
Thanks for
GB.
stopping by. And
Yes, we all appreciate it.
I will see. Yeah, I appreciate it. And see you guys next week. Same
Take
time,
care,
same
everyone.
channel. Stay safe and God bless.
Don't forget about the water.
Yeah, 4 hours, Anthony.
Yeah, don't forget about the water, everyone. Water equals life. We all need it.